What's going on there, guys? We're back with another one, and today we got to talk about Jordan Poole and how the locker room is acting towards his performance in the playoffs. Now, we have this reporter here. She described a very, very tense locker room. Said music was playing. There was an awkward silence, and when they asked him questions, everybody in the locker room was listening as if they were making mental notes of what he was going to say. So it was like all eyes on him. You know how when some of these interviews are going on, guys are, doing whatever they doing in the locker room and not really paying attention. You over there in your locker, we getting interviewed over here in our locker, but no. This reporter describes it as if they are all paying attention to what he had to say. Check this out.
Yeah, I happened to be in the locker room when Jordan Poole spoke. It's been a while since he spoke, and before we get to the words that he said, let me just paint a picture of what that locker room was like. So the Warriors PR was coming over and saying, Jordan, could you please talk post-game? He seemed a little reluctant. You could tell that he was very frustrated. He was facing his locker, actually. So as the reporters gathered around him, when it did become clear that he would talk to us, his back was to us. And so we're all kind of around to the sides of him. He turned his music off for us, but that locker room, a visitor's locker room, is really cramped. So when that music went off, all of the other players were listening as well. You could see, Andrew Wiggins, there was Looney right nearby, and then GP2 came to the locker. It was like all eyes and ears were on Jordan right there, and it just heightened the tension. So what did Jordan end up saying? Because we need to acknowledge that this hasn't been a great series for him, maybe not even a great postseason for him. Something has happened to his shot. It's just not there. We know that he has a good shot, but why is he struggling now? Why is he a little bit uncomfortable? Just reviewing some of the things he said, and some pretty short answers. My shot, I don't know. If I knew, I would tell you. He didn't want to talk about himself. He kept saying we have a game in a couple of days. I asked him, I was like, Jordan, we know your work ethic is good. When you feel like you're in a little bit of a funk, when things don't seem normal, what are you doing? Are you getting back in the gym? And he said, well, my work ethic doesn't change. My routine doesn't change. Maybe opportunity changes, but you can only control what you can control.
Jordan Poole is obviously a really big part of last year's title run, and this postseason he's kind of just struggled with consistency and stuff. I mean, what you guys need him to be successful. So, like, what are you seeing from him, and maybe what's your message to him?
We get questions about him a lot, and it's our whole team. We're all together in the sense of trying to figure out how to win playoff games, and we all have to make adjustments. We all have to play better, considering we're in a 3-1 hole. So there's no sense in isolating him in this situation. It's all about collectively what can we all do to be better. And the conversations we have in film sessions and on the bench in the locker room are all consistent throughout the season, especially in this playoff run of trying to answer that question. So he's a part of that. We're all a part of that. And if we're going to get out of this hole, we all have to play better.
So, wow, man, you got the players looking at Jordan Poole for his every word to see if he's saying something out of line or something they deem is inappropriate. And what this tells me is that anytime you walk in a room, you can feel the tension. There's been either something physical or verbal that has transpired upon you entering in there. You know what I'm saying? It's already thick in there, and the tensions have risen. Now, I don't know if it's been said in this exact moment or over the course of the series, or it was one of those things like, man, you better not go out there, and then, he go out there and do exactly what they say he better not do. They said Wiggins and some others, you automatically think Draymond Green. Maybe Draymond has nothing to do with this at all, but at the same time, this thing is under scrutiny. Maybe somebody brought that back up. Like, don't make me do you like Draymond. Like, I've always been worried about that incident. And I'll say I'm not so much worried about it when things is going good. But when things get hostile and you have those uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable moments with a teammate, which are necessary, but if you've had hands put on you in front of the world, then, it makes it very uncomfortable for you going forward if you're trying to be a teammate. You know what I'm saying? If Jordan Poole was a fighter himself, I think he could move past it. Like if he looked at it as Draymond got me that one time, but I can get him another time, he wouldn't overly sweat it. But I just feel like, I again, that's why I feel like he pushed Draymond in that Sacramento series when he was trying to talk to him when he was walking to the bench to show, hey, look, I'm still a man myself. It's like he's trying to prove something that he ain't really got to prove to us. He need to prove that to himself if he feels that way. But they seem to take exception, with some of the things maybe Jordan Poole has said in the past. And he said something about opportunities, and I wonder how well that's going to go over. You consider the shot Klay got late last night. You consider some of Steph's attempts. You consider some of his attempts throughout the playoffs that were questionable. That tells me he feels like he should get at least the same looks that Klay is getting at this point. And that's what money does for players. They feel like, oh, I'm getting paid this, I'm responsible for more. And if your number one contribution is scoring the basketball, you'll think you have to score more. What Jordan Poole doesn't realize is he could help the team not getting beat backdoor, not getting beat to offensive rebounds, in other ways. We're paying you to do everything at that point. So, I just find it interesting, though. Wiggins was looking at him, and I know Wiggins was taking care of his father and everything while he was out, but, Poole has to kind of look at him like, I've been here all season with the team. Why is everybody looking to see what I'm going to say right now? Like, and maybe that's, that could be some of the personality stuff that you've heard several players speak to. He likes to chirp a lot. Well, now you in that seat, you got paid. We're paying you like a star. Go be a star player, and he gets the opportunity. So I'm kind of lost on what he means with that. Jordan Poole can literally take any shot he wants on the court. All he has to do is make enough of them or make them in timely spots in the game. It's not like he's on much of a leash, and the stars encourage it. Steph and Klay don't mind him shooting. But yeah, man, I want to know what you guys think about this. Is this thing gonna work with Jordan Poole, or they probably need to move him now while he still got trade value? Because what happened with Draymond and everything that's transpired after that is leading to a dark place with his time with Golden State. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.